Hey guys, what's going on? Steven back again, and I'm back with another video from the Templin Institute. I thought I did all the videos, or at least all the 40k videos from the Templin Institute, but it has been brought to my attention, I have not. This one is called The Emperor of Mankind. I swear, I thought I did this one, but a couple of people in my comment section said, hey, when are you going to watch this video, The Emperor of Mankind? And I'm like, I thought I did, and I looked, and I didn't see the video, so here we are, The Emperor of Mankind from the Templin Institute. Here we go.
Lost amidst the endless temples, fortresses, and hypercrologies that have long since covered Holy Terra,
I hope the audio's okay.
A lone mountain. Upon its harsh granite face have been carved the stern visages of 4 warrior kings, to which countless pilgrims now offer sacrament. Who these men were, that the Imperium of Man should choose to honor them in such a way upon the divine soil of the throne world itself, has long since been lost to the ages. They are venerated simply as nameless heroes, and that is enough for the faithful. The notion that such figures might predate the Imperium itself died upon the lips of historical scholars who perished millennia ago.
So I wonder who they
and
were.
If any
4
thought
nameless
to assert
heroes?
such claims now, they would surely be executed for heresy.
Or were those like
Yet
the old
this lone
ones
mountain
from one
is
of
in
the other
truth
videos,
one of the
like the
last
shamans or
surviving
something
links
like that?
between the Imperium
Could that
and
be
the
them?
ages of mankind that came before. A few across the Imperium have unlocked the secrets to an unnaturally long life. Some among their number can remember the fiery nightmare of the Horus heresy, when the Imperium was nearly split asunder. Fewer still might have even seen the unrivaled glories of the Great Crusade, or the terrible and mysterious Dark Age of technology.
I like that paint scheme.
Perhaps there may even be a blessed few who have persisted for so long that they might share first-hand accounts of how mankind first spread across the galaxy, how industry was brought to Mars, or give names to those 4 kings carved onto the face of a lone mountain. But
Okay,
across
so
the
it's
million
4
worlds of the
kings.
Imperium of Man, there is but a single soul that can undeniably be said to have witnessed these events and so much more. A single soul that spans the eternity of mankind's existence. A single soul that connects humanity both to its past and to whatever future it might have remaining. He is the master of mankind by the will of the gods, and master of a million worlds by the might of his inexhaustible armies. He is a rotting carcass writhing invisibly, with power from the dark age of technology.
He is.
He is the carrion lord of the Imperium,
The
for
God
whom
Emperor.
1,000 souls die every day, for whom blood is drunk and flesh eaten. Human blood and human flesh, the stuff of which the Imperium is made. He is the God Emperor of mankind. In life, the Emperor was the perfection of mankind, a manifestation of the ultimate potential of his species. There was no field in which he did not excel, no physical or mental test in which he exhibited anything less than transcendent talent.
He was
a
great
peerless
at anything
statesman,
he did.
military leader, philosopher,
Perfect.
and scientist. Seemingly immortal,
That is a
he was able
badass
to
picture,
craft his
though.
mind and body across countless lifetimes.
That
but
is
his
so cool.
experience accounts for only a fraction of his ability. The Emperor was a psyker, able to draw power from the extra-dimensional realm known as the Immaterium. His capabilities here were likewise unrivaled, and there were few beings to have ever existed across reality that demonstrated his same level of control or raw psychic strength. In death, the Emperor is a shattered
I wonder
wreck,
if there are any
more corpse than man, yet
Imperial
clinging to
psychers that
life through
come
both his own inexorable will
close to,
and the
like, the
wondrous forgotten
Emperor's
technologies of the Golden
level.
Throne. His physical body is a frail,
I'm sure there must
withered
be some
husk,
that come
a
close,
prison
but
of
obviously
flesh.
don't
For
pass
10,000
the
years,
Emperor because he
has sat
is,
immobile and
you know,
silent.
like the greatest psyker.
Only his mind
So I just wonder if
endures,
anyone like comes
yet locked in an
close.
eternal battle against the
At least in the
powers
Imperium.
within the Immaterium. So long as he remains, there is hope for the galaxy. Yet should he fall, all reality would be lost beneath a tide of demonic madness and despair. How a being such as the Emperor
What do you
first
think
came to
Games
walk
Workshop's
among
going to do with
mankind
this
is
story,
likely beyond
since the
human
Emperor's still
understanding.
dying and stuff?
There are many within the Imperium who would
Do you
claim
think
that
they'll
the
ever, like,
Emperor has
find a way
always
to, like,
existed in some form,
bring him back?
and to suggest otherwise
They can't
is
kill
the
him
highest
off.
form of
I
heresy.
mean, because
Countless
he's
trillions
so
have been put to
iconic
death
to
for
Games
interpreting
Workshop
the
and
Emperor in a fashion
40K.
outside of the
I
sanctioned
wonder what they
imperial
do.
cult. And to think a reputable account
I
of his
wonder what their
origins
story
might
would
be
be.
found in such a regime is to invite madness. And yet, records within the Library Sanctus appear to shed light on his beginnings, though none but the Emperor himself can say for sure to what degree such stories reflect reality. According to ancient texts, the being that would become the Emperor was born some 50,000 years ago in a long-forgotten region of Terra. Some accounts claim he was intended to be the first and greatest of a new race of human psykers, a collective reincarnation of extinct shamans, sorcerers, and wise men who had guided humanity during prehistoric times. For thousands of years before becoming the Emperor, he guided and watched humanity develop. He traveled the globe, assuming countless names and identities, sometimes adopting the persona of a great leader or advisor, a crusader, religious leader, or even messiah. More often, however, he remained an unknown contributor to events, influencing their outcomes in a way that did not betray his involvement. Whatever his actions,
Okay, it's like an
all were ultimately
influencer.
in the service of humanity, guiding his race along a path of survival that he alone could see. As more and more humans were born with the same ability to shape the powers of the Immaterium, the Emperor realized he would need to take a more direct and open role in mankind's affairs than ever before. The collapse of the Age of Technology brought about a time of ruin, and without the Emperor's guidance, mankind would perish. The Emperor's first appearance in modern Imperial records is as one of the many petty warlords who struggled for control of Terra during the 30th millennium. His brilliant campaigns against the other techno-barbarian warlords of the planet set him apart, however, as did his use of genetically engineered warriors. Through his creations, most notably the superhuman Thunder
They do
Warriors,
look cool.
the Emperor reunited the planet, but
That would
only
actually be
at
kind of cool
terrible
to see,
cost.
something like that.
The last
The
casualties
Emperor
of the
against
Unification
the other,
Wars were the Thunder
what
Warriors
was it, barbarian
themselves,
warlords
struck
and stuff
down
like
by
that.
the
That'd be kind of
Emperor's
cool.
superior creations, lest their growing corruption tarnish everything they'd fought to achieve. Yet the Emperor's greatest ambition were the primarchs, 20 superhuman beings whose genomes had been designed using his own genetic code as a foundation. Once matured, they would be his greatest generals, diplomats, and statesmen. The power of the Emperor, however, had been recognized by the malevolent entities of the Immaterium, and seeking to disrupt his plans, they cast out his 20 sons across the galaxy. In the absence of his generals, the Emperor instead worked to craft his armies. Using genetic samples derived from each of the primarchs, the Emperor raised legions of new superhuman warriors, the Astartes, and began
Space
his
Marines.
reconquest of the solar system. Through expert diplomacy, the Emperor forged a crucial military and political alliance with Mars, cementing the foundation of the Imperium of Man. With the industry of Mars, alien slavers were cast off the moons of Saturn and Jupiter, and the Emperor turned his eyes towards the greater galaxy. The Great Crusade has achieved a legendary status within the Imperium, surpassed only by the Emperor himself. The reports of great victories and triumphs over Xenos races, heretics, and lost human dominions are so numerous as to be essentially endless. It was an era of rebuilding, reunification, and the rapid redevelopment of technologies long thought lost. The Emperor sought to unite all humanity under his banner and ensure human supremacy across the galaxy. With each new world brought under Imperial compliance, his resources grew, accelerating the process nearly
Such a cool
exponentially.
picture.
But the Great Crusade also brought the Emperor back into contact with his lost sons, and not all had grown to be the men he had intended them to be. The galaxy they were cast into was one of brutal terrors and cruelty.
Interesting,
While
so they
all among
weren't
the
brought
primarchs
into
had
what
become
he wanted
expert
them to be.
statesmen, powerful warriors, and wise philosophers, many exhibited very human failings: fear, hate, arrogance, and jealousy.
Oh, okay.
Yet, the Emperor remained confident enough in their abilities to turn the Great Crusade over to their care, and in particular, his favored son, Horus Lupercal. The Emperor returned to Terra to personally oversee the construction of the Imperial Webway. This was his ultimate goal, a new means of faster-than-light travel that would forever free mankind from its reliance on the Immaterium, and protect it from the depredations of chaos that lay within. But the ruinous powers of the Immaterium had long since realized the threat to their existence posed by the Emperor, and moved to thwart his ambitions. Through their manipulation of the primarchs, the Chaos Gods convinced 9 among their number to betray the Imperium. Horus himself had become their greatest prize, and together with his brothers launched a decisive strike against the work of their father.
And thus the
The
Horus
tragedies
heresy
of the
began.
Horus heresy are without number, yet none so cruel as its final turning point. As the Imperial Palace on Terra burned at the hands of the Chaos Legions and demonic hordes, the Emperor confronted Horus aboard his flagship, the Vengeful Spirit. The battle between the Emperor and Horus was like nothing the universe had ever seen, before or since. The powers unleashed were simply beyond comprehension.
That is actually a really nice
The
picture.
Emperor had confronted Horus as a means to end the conflict in a single stroke, but according to legend, found himself unable to kill a son he still truly loved. It is said Horus tore off one of his father's arms, shattered many of his organs, and still the Emperor refused to deliver a killing blow.
Damn.
From what accounts survived, it appears that it was only when Horus casually and cruelly flayed a man alive who attempted to intervene that the Emperor realized his son was truly lost.
Yeah, at that point.
The psychic energies that destroyed Horus tore his soul
This
from
would actually
reality
be
in a
really
manner that
cool to see
blotted
in, like,
the
some sort of, like,
arch-traitor from all existence.
live action or
It was an
animation
act
or
of
something like
destruction
that,
so
you know?
final that not even the powers
I'd love
of the
to see, like,
Chaos
the Emperor
Gods
and
could
Horus
save
fight.
or revive
That
their
would be
fallen champion.
Awesome.
But the act had come too late. The Emperor was mortally wounded. His final instructions to the loyal son that had found his crippled body described how to modify the Golden Throne. It had been intended to form the heart of the Imperial Webway. Now it would be an arcane form of life support, holding together the Emperor's crumbling body. Through his will, the Astronomicon would be projected, a psychic beacon allowing travel through the Immaterium and the survival of mankind. For 10,000 years, the Emperor has persisted atop the Golden Throne, his spirit guiding an Imperium that has become a grim mockery of his original intentions. In the Great Crusade, the Emperor brought to the Imperium a materialistic, atheistic faith, based on reason and science, rejecting all vestiges of irrationality and superstition.
And then after he died,
Now,
all that got thrown out the
superstition
window and
irrationality rule
God,
over
Emperor.
all, with
God,
the
Emperor.
Emperor's true values derided as heresy and witchcraft. The Emperor fought to purge all forms of religious faith and break the power it had always had over humanity. Now, the Emperor himself is venerated as a god, worshipped by countless souls as humanity's divine protector. The Emperor's ultimate goal was to rid humanity of the influence of the ruinous powers. Now the fates of both have intertwined to such an extent that it may be impossible to ever reverse. With his ascension to the status of a deity, the nuances of his personality and character have been lost. Was the Emperor a loving father to his sons and all humanity, or a cold and calculating tyrant whose brutal methods tarnished his eventual triumphs? The truth is likely somewhere in between, but now impossible to know for certain. Regardless, the being who today sits atop the Golden Throne is likely far different than the man who is interned within it.
Oh yeah, most likely. Most
With
definitely.
each passing year, it is said that the power of the Golden Throne
So it-
grows weaker, and the
So is this like a I've seen this picture floating around a lot. I don't know if this is like a legitimate... I don't think it is like a legitimate Games Workshop picture. Is it? Because we have his other arm here, but then all the iconic pictures of the Emperor, you know, you have him with his, you know, his hands on the armrests and everything like that. So what, what's up. I don't know. So let me know if this is an authentic, actual Games Workshop picture, or is this just something fan-made? If it's fan-made, okay. But then if it's then what about the legitimate ones, from Games Workshop? Because earlier, it said Horus ripped off his arm and everything like that. And in the actual, well, I'll do it at the end.
Astronomicon it projects across the galaxy diminishes with it. Only the greatest tech priests of the Adeptus Mechanicus know the truth. The Golden Throne is failing, and well beyond their ability to repair. The Emperor is dying, and his fate may be inevitable.
So that's when I want to see what Games Workshop does with that.
Is yet another mortal wound. The Imperium has been severed in two, and tens of thousands of worlds are now caught upon the very gates of hell. Titanic warp storms roar across the galaxy, and everywhere, civilizations are tormented, enslaved, and altogether destroyed by demonic legions. Many have proclaimed this to be the time of ending. In such a dark and terrible era, the followers of the ruinous powers are jubilant. They ridicule the servants of the Imperium, deriding the god Emperor as a corpse lord, carrion god, a false god. But the four ruinous powers of chaos, Khorne, Nurgle, Slanesh, and Tzeentch, have another name for the Emperor, not one born out of mockery, but one perhaps out of fear. They know him as the Anathema, for there is no greater embodiment of universal order, and even in his ruined state, no more potent foe of chaos.
Interesting. So they don't even mock
gods
him.
Believe themselves to be on the cusp
Well,
of their ultimate
sure
triumph.
they do, but
even they
that's
cannot
pretty
ignore
interesting.
the unprecedented events taking place across the galaxy. Even as untold worlds are swept beneath a tide of demonic madness, the influence of the Emperor is exerting itself upon the mortal plane in ways never seen before. While the Emperor in life admonished those who named him a god worthy of adoration, in death he has become this and possibly something more. The worship of countless trillions has undoubtedly had an effect on the power of the Emperor, rippling across the Immaterium in ways impossible to truly understand. The few individuals privileged enough to enter the Golden Throne have come back with the unshakable feeling that even as his mortal body fails, his spirit and will have only grown in power. The ruinous powers of chaos have faced mortal champions and armies, only
I wonder
to
who are the
corrupt
very
them,
few to actually go
manipulate them,
into the Golden
or else
Throne.
drown them in a tide of blood and death. They have faced the progress of technology and the power of science, only to pervert their use into crafting ever more grotesque augmentations for their followers. They have faced rival gods, only to consume, shatter, or imprison
Khorne on his
every
giant
rival
throne.
pantheon set against them. But in orbit of holy terror, as the galaxy
that's
burned,
actually a
they face the
really
Emperor,
nice picture.
only to witness their greatest champion, one imbued with all their power, struck down
That
so
is really cool.
completely as to be beyond
Some of these
even
artworks are
their
just
ability
amazing.
to save. The Chaos Gods fear the Emperor not for his champions or armies, his promises of science or technology, or even his ability to wield the powers of a god. They fear the Golden Throne is no longer keeping his decrepit body intact, but rather constraining his ever-growing abilities. They fear that one way or another, should the Emperor ever rise from his internment, he will do so not as a man, not as a god, but as a kind of power that reality has never seen.
So what do they mean by that?
In Dossier, the Templin Institute investigates the legendary...
Okay, so there we go. The God Emperor. Oop, I feel like I was shifted too far over in my seat. So that was very interesting. Now, I just wanted to jump back to those pictures there. Yes, like I was saying, I don't know if this is... because we heard Horus, ripped off his arm and everything like that. Damn, talk about brutal. Now, like I said, I've seen this picture around, but I'm just not sure. Is this I can't remember if this is a legitimate Games Workshop picture, or if this is a fan, a fan-made picture. Because if I can find the earlier pictures and stuff, like this one, whoop. Like this one here is obviously Games Workshop official, and he's got his two hands, you know, and you can see the, you know, scratch marks and stuff like that. So did they reattach his hand, his arm, or how's that work? You know, what happened? That I don't know, you know, but I don't know, it was just something silly and something stupid. But yeah, I like the, let me just play this here again.
Grows weaker, and the Astronomicon it projects across the galaxy diminishes with it and turned within it. With each passing year, it is said that the power of the Golden Throne grows weaker, and the Astronomicon it projects across the galaxy diminishes with it. Only the greatest tech priests of the Adeptus Mechanicus know the truth. The Golden Throne is failing.
So the Golden Throne is weakening. The greatest tech priests know it's failing. So I wonder what the story will be with Games Workshop. You know, what are they gonna... I wonder what they're gonna do. You know, I'm sure they'll definitely have to do, you know, something with, you know, what, every new edition, there's always like some big change, because what was it, what was the reason why ninth edition came out and the Silent King all of a sudden returned and everything like that? Because I did the, you know, the trailer and stuff like that, which was really cool. You know, and I guess something big usually always happens every time a new edition comes out. So let's just say 10, the 10th edition, kind of like a milestone there, you know. This is the 10th edition, you know. You'd figure they'd do something pretty big. What would they do? You know, let's just say just for fun. 10th edition comes out, something with the Emperor. I mean, I can't see them like killing off the Emperor, because he is so iconic to Games Workshop, you know, and 40K, the Golden Throne, the Emperor, you know, so you can't do that. I don't know if you could really bring him back, because then I don't know what would happen if the Emperor ever came back, if he even can come back. I don't know, it's kind of like they got to do something if, you know, the Golden Throne is breaking down and, you know, can't be repaired, and the Emperor's still slowly dying year by year by year. What could they do? What would the story be? What would the big moment be? Because, I mean, if the Emperor did die, that would be huge. That'd be the end of travel. That'd just be... That'd be the end of everything. Then if they brought him back, somehow, then all hell would break loose. And that would be interesting. But yeah, I don't know. It just a silly... I don't know, silly fun thought I had, so I don't know, who knows. But yeah, that was a really cool video and stuff like that. I'd still love to see, like, I don't know, the Horus heresy play out some way, live action, I don't know, fan-made animation, stuff like that. I'd love to see the Emperor fighting against Horus and stuff like that. I think that'd just be awesome to see. You know, kind of like Game of Thrones, everybody wants to see Robert's Rebellion and stuff like that, even though I think HBO said they're not going to do that. I don't know, like, changed their minds so many times. You know, it's kind of like one of those moments, like, love to see, like, the Horus heresy just play out in some video form, you know, whether it's animation or live action. I don't know, I think that'd just be awesome to see. Just to see those two just go at it and everything like that. I don't know, who knows, maybe someday. You know, Games Workshop is kind of going more into the animations and stuff like that. They get their whole, what do they call it, animation like hub or something like that, animation community, where they got all the, you know, different animators and stuff like that working, you know, on projects and stuff for them. And then we have the live action Eisenhorn, which I hope is still happening. Haven't heard anything about it, so at least as far as I know, it's still happening. Warhammer 40k Eisenhorn TV series. Let's see, is there any new news or anything like that? Looks like nothing recent. 2019, 2020, 2020. 2020. Yeah, I don't see anything recent. So fingers crossed it's still happening. Let's see, Reddit. That was June 23rd, 2020. Any news on the live-action Eisenhorn TV series? This was January 8th, 2021 on Reddit. What did they say? Let's see if anything pops up. As far as I know, it's still happening. Haven't heard it. Haven't heard from it in a while. Wasn't announced back in 2019. Let's see, someone responded, no, and there won't be for a while. When it was announced, it was only just entering development. And all that means is that a showrunner or producer was committing to trying to get the show started, but they didn't have anything set in stone yet. Since then, they likely have looked at working out the details, maybe starting to try to get people to write it, but that can take some time. Yeah. When you also factor in the producers working on other projects, yeah. Many shows get announced and then never come to fruition. Ooh. Of course, you got to take into account that many projects will have been delayed by the pandemic. 14 days ago. The only thing I saw was an interview where a senior member of the story/production team were comparing Eisenhorn and Warhammer 40k to Star Trek. As such, I wouldn't be surprised if they were struggling to come up with a story arc that comes close to decent, or that Games Workshop and Abernett having canned the project together. Why would they have to come up with a new story arc? Just follow the events of the books. I wish Games Workshop would say something about it, whether that be canceled, delayed, or still on track. So, I don't know. I guess hopefully it's still happening? I don't know. I guess we'll just have to wait and see. But yeah, anyways, something like that would be kind of cool. Just seeing like the Horus heresy play out on screen would be awesome. Hey, any animators or anything like that, Astartes, just saying. I think that'd be awesome to see the Horus heresy play out in animation. Just saying. All right, so anyways, yeah, there we go. The Emperor of Mankind from the Templin Institute. Now I think I've done all the Warhammer 40k videos from the Templin Institute. I think. I'm sure you guys will let me know if I'm still missing any other ones, but I'm pretty sure I got them all now. Could be wrong. Hopefully they'll release something else new, because it looks like they haven't done a 40k one in quite a while, so hopefully they'll do more. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. Would you like to see the Horus heresy play out in live action, animation, just some form of, in any form, really? Let me know what you guys think. With the Golden Throne breaking, the Emperor still dying, where do you think the story will go? Do you think Games Workshop will bring the Emperor back? Do you think they'll kill him off? What do you think they'll do to... Because, I guess you can continue to drag it out, Yeah, the Emperor is still dying. And dying. And dying. And still dying, I'm sure you can drag it out, but I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. And other than that, stick around. I still have more If the Emperor Had a Text-to-Speech Device videos to do. Hopefully I can get another one of those done sometime this week if I get enough time. But yeah, other than that, hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, hit that thumbs up button. That'd be awesome. Remember, feel free to subscribe to my channel. Follow me on social media. Links are in the description box below. And of course, leave me all your thoughts and comments. And other than that, just stick around. More videos are on the way. And I will see you guys next time.